Hello, friends, and welcome. I'm Sara Lihz from Sassy's LLC. I'm delighted to be joining you on World Card Making Day. Today, we're going to make this double interactive card. It lights up and then it slides open. It is a double interactive card. I've made a place where you can replace the battery if it runs down, and it's easier than you may think. To make this card, we're going to use the Insta-Snap die set. This makes the camera. It's from Trinity Stamps. And then we're going to use the slide and spin die set. This creates all kinds of tracks that are perfect to use with the snap and slides from Pear Blossom Press. That's how we'll slide our card open. We'll use the tiny Christmas tree, and then I thought I was going to use the tiny elf, but I'm going to swap it for the tiny snowman, all from Trinity. And then I'm going to use the one light from the Halo Light combo pack, but you could use the regular one light instead. And for our sentiment, we're going to use a freebie printable. It's the Classic Christmas in July from Sassy's LLC. Those come out once a month, and I'll just link to it in the supply list below. We're going to start by assembling our camera, but I have to cut a hole for our light before I glue anything down. So here's the thing. The die set that cuts out that little black piece and then the white piece that surrounds it is actually connected to a lot of other small pieces that go on this camera. So I can't use the die to cut it out. That's okay. I'm just going to trace around it with a pencil, and then I'm going to grab a hole punch, just like a regular old school hole punch. And I am using the punch to remove that inside section. Now there are a few pieces on the side where it's a little jagged, so I just stuck my scissors in there to clean it up. And when I think I have enough pieces cleared, I'll go ahead and test it. I'll grab that little white piece that's going to surround the light, and I'll double check and make sure that it fits well and nothing weird is showing. I have a piece of vellum, and I'm just coloring on it with a yellow alcohol marker, and that's going to be what we see as our flash. So we have this yellow light that's coming through. I suppose you could make it a different color. I thought about that, and then just went with yellow. I thought the color fit with the other colors in the card. I'm going to glue that onto the back, but it's very thin. It's not very sturdy. And in my house, cards get passed around and children touch them. So I like to make them bulletproof. So I am adding some double-sided tape and then a little bit of glue, and I'm going to bring in a piece of acetate. This is actually graphics shrink film, like a shrinky-dink film sort of, but it's a really heavyweight, clear plastic. And then that way, no one's going to accidentally press on the light or touch the light. And then that vellum sort of collapses behind it. I'll use my glue to add the little white piece around the outside edge. And there were some slightly jagged parts, but it covers them all up. It worked so well. I was pleasantly surprised at how easy that was. And then the rest of the camera comes together so fast. So here's the thing. This camera's been out for a year, 2 years, and I reach for this all the time when I need a quick card for a family member. It's not a shaped card, though you can turn it into one. We'll do like a sliding mechanism today. We're making it fancy, but you can also just score another layer right behind this and then make it so you're gluing the little flap at the top and you have an easy flip open sort of normal card that's a shaped card. This is slightly smaller than an A2 because it's more square, but it fits in an A2 envelope and fills it pretty nicely. I have a couple little pieces on here. Don't forget there's a little button over on the left, and I have like a little black piece that I'm gluing right on top. But then this thing is assembled. You guys, it's so fast. So here's the tiny snowman I didn't show you earlier. This is part of the new Trinity release. They came out, I think, in the spring with a tiny alien and a tiny astronaut. They are so cute and really popular. They're about the size of a typical stamp. You can see on my grid as I'm putting him together, this snowman is a little bigger than 2 inches tall. And I love that. It means that all of the tiny astronaut, the tiny snowman or elf, they fit really beautifully into the places that we typically reserve for our focal images on our cards. So I put his hat together. There's there's a bunch of pieces that maybe I didn't need to add. I doubled up the hat because the little sides of the hat are so small and thin. And I actually put the snowman together a couple days before the camera, and I wasn't sure if part of his hat was going to be hanging off the edge. So I reinforced that. And then there's like a little layering piece to put on the brim of the hat as well that I added, but maybe didn't need to. I'm using some black glitter cardstock, and then I've got this non-traditional color scheme that we're pulling over from the camera itself. I love like a teal pink Christmas, a little pop of green in there. I'm all for like the classic red and green, maybe a little black and gold as accents, but it's fun to play around and do some different colors. The buttons on our little snowman are hearts, and you could do like little charcoal buttons, but I did pink to match the ribbon that's going around his hat. And then I'm going to add his arms. The arms actually are overlapping the body for me instead of behind. And I realized that I had put that scarf down and not left room for the other one. So I just stuck my pokey tool in there to make myself a little space, and then I'll glue that on there. This snowman even has a little bit of holly to put on his hat. It's itty bitty. You absolutely could skip it. But I love these tiny little elements. Like you could add that on to a sentiment as a little accent instead of an embellishment, like some glitter drops or something like that. He also has a little broom that I assembled, though we're not going to use it on this card. Then we're using the tiny tree, and this comes together pretty quickly. I am going to ink blend a little bit. There are some debossed details on there. And I tried at one point to use some alcohol markers to sort of highlight those indented areas, but I am not that great with alcohol markers, so we're going to ink blend it instead. I'm using the new shading Sidekick brushes from Trinity Stamps. I love these. They're a little bigger than my other small brushes and super fluffy, so I have a lot of control. There are 3 garland pieces to put on the tree, and they're pretty forgiving, right? You can put them at a few angles, but I also get a pretty clear sense of where they belong instead of having like 5 or 6 and then I'm guessing. So I'm using my tweezers because they are quite thin, and then I'll tap the glue off on the back of my hand to make sure it's not going to ooze out. I don't want any of that glue to react with the dye ink we have on there. It's water reactive, and so it could change the color of it. So that tapping it off really helps with that. I'm going to put my star on top, and then I have my little tree trunk. I cut out a whole bunch of like little ornaments to put on there, but you could use gems or some other embellishment on this tree instead. I just add little dots onto the tree, and then I'll layer them on top. I use a wax tipped little pokey tool. Mine's from Trinity Stamps. It works really nicely. I have a tendency to overthink things like where should the ornaments go and how should they be spaced? But this tree, because of the little loops and the garland, it was pretty intuitive, and I felt like this was really easy to assemble. Next, we're going to add our snowman onto our camera, and I want his hat to be what you press on to make the light turn on. So I'm being really careful with my placement here. I want it to be right below that light. Then we get to add our light. This is a 1 light. You just add the battery and press the button. It's really, really easy. And so I'm trying to line it up, and I ideally want the light in the center of that opening. So I'm drawing a line right underneath it to remind me of where I want it to go, though I'm going to move it down a little bit later. For the sliding back of this, I'm going to double up 2 pieces of cardstock and die cut them at the same time. This is the slide and spin die set from Trinity, and there are a bunch of little slider tracks. This one just barely fits on the Insta-Snap camera. So that's why I doubled it up, because at the top and bottom, there's just a thin little layer of cardstock holding everything together. And again, kids' hands, I just didn't trust a single layer of cardstock. Fun fact, the mint tape from scrapbook.com is like a perfect match to this color of cardstock. So what you see me peeling off as I'm sort of taping dies down, and then we'll use it later to hold our hatch closed, is mint tape. It's like a Post-it tape that is mint green. So I have that all glued together. I made sure to add glue just above and below that slider track. And here I'm playing with that light again, and I'm deciding to scoot it down to make sure it's a little bit better positioned behind that hat. So I'm drawing a new line. Once I figure out where it's going to go, I'll add some double-sided adhesive tape to the back of the light. And then on the front of the light, I'm going to use some of that mint tape, that Post-it tape, just to hold it in place. So this way I can really visualize where it's going to go on my card. But when I remove that double-sided adhesive tape backing, then I can just layer up the 2 pieces of my card, and it will end up stuck to the other panel. This is important because I want to be able to swap out the battery. It will wear out over time, and I like to create a little like escape hatch for my light and my battery. So that's what we'll do here. I'm taking it to my scoreboard and I am just finding a groove that is to the left of the light. And I'm going to create that score line so it goes slightly above and below. Then I'll use my scissors and cut into this back so that I create a flap. Now this one's pretty stiff because I have 2 layers of cardstock there, but it will still work. Then I'm going to use that mint tape to hold the hatch closed. Remember, I said it matched our cardstock almost perfectly. The Scotch removable tape is clear and will do the same thing if you're using a different color. So here's my snap and slide. I have 2 ends and one is like the female end and one is the male end and they snap together. So I'm going to put that through the slot in my card base and you can see it moves beautifully, right? If you're making dancing elements or any kind of like moving mechanism, this works better than anything else I've ever tried. I'll put a sticky spot on the back of it and I'm gonna be real honest, we're gonna do a thing that doesn't work right now, but I think it could work. I just made the mechanism too small. So I cut a tiny rectangle of cardstock to put on the back to try to keep our little slide and snap from spinning, okay? It's not big enough. It's going to end up spinning in this little space anyway. It's too close to a square. If I had made that a little wider or if I had created 2 tracks instead, then it wouldn't spin. In the end, we're going to end up taking that out, but I'll kind of walk you through that process and then you can experiment on your own. I added foam tape to create a track that is pretty tight on either side of that rectangle. And then I filled in the entire rest of the back. You'll see on the other side that doesn't have most of the foam tape, I have 1 tiny piece of foam tape above the light. If I had tried to put it on the side that has most of my tape, I'd have ended up with problems. I probably would have put it where there's actually supposed to be a light shining through. This is 3mm foam tape. The world's best foam tape is the best, but I am all out. So I added glue on top to give it a little wiggle room. It sort of floats on there for just a minute so I can get everything lined up and then I can press down and my card is good to go. So here I'm playing with that slider track and I'm realizing it's spinning in there. So I tried to fix it so that it was straightened out again, but it kept doing it. I just think it was too small. So in the end, you can unsnap these. Like they're put together pretty sturdily, but I pulled it apart and I took out the piece that had that scrap on it and I'll just take it off. If you're really careful, you can pull off that sticky spot. You're probably going to ruin the cardstock, but that doesn't really matter to me. And then I put a new piece on the inside and I'll just snap that together. So now I just have a regular snap and slide inside that track. Next, I'm grabbing the inside of our card. I'll take the front, flip it over, and put that snap and slide at the top and add a sticky spot. Then I'm going to hold this very carefully, line up my 2 layers, right? And then I'm going to tip it and make sure that little spinner is all the way at the top, and then I'll press them together. And now my 2 pieces are connected and they slide. They also spin. It's okay. I actually think it's kind of fun. It's just not what I intended. I also decided to change the color of the ornaments on my tree. They were red. So I came in with an acrylic marker from Sharpie and turned them pink. It's a really easy way to sort of change the color of your die cuts later on. Here are the freebie sentiments, and I just trimmed off the ephemera pieces on the side first. And then I'm going to go along all of the black lines and I'm going to cut up from the bottom, but I'm going to leave that header intact. There are some optional purple lines on here that I am not cutting. So here are my flaps. That means everything is still intact and I can see the tick marks on the side. So I will rotate and connect those tick marks to cut these apart. These are called tuck strip sentiments because there's extra white space on the side so you can tuck them behind a die cut element or one of the ephemera pieces that we trimmed off at the beginning. If you didn't want that extra white space, that's what the optional cut line, the purple cut line on the printable is for. So I'm going to use some removable adhesive and tuck this behind my tree. I love how connected they feel when you do this. I want to be able to swap out that sentiment later just in case I want something sassier in the end. So I've added removable adhesive to the sentiment and the bottom of the tree, but I've done glue at the top because I don't want to create a catch point with the star. So I'll be able to just lift that up if I want to change it pretty easily. So here's our completed card. You press the hat and it's going to turn on that light, which I just think is a really fun mechanism. And then it slides open. We have our tree, happiest of holidays. There's a little space to write a message, or you could write it on the back. And then here's that flap so you can get to the battery and replace that if the battery runs down, my friends. I hope this inspires you. I hope you're making something for World Card Making Day. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.